I have had this for a bit now, and a few people ask me about it, so here is my take. I have used a handful of cordless stick vacuums over the years, and I keep coming back to the same question with all of them. Will I actually grab it for normal daily cleaning, or will it end up sitting in a corner because it is annoying to use? With this one, I have been reaching for it pretty often, mostly for quick messes in the kitchen, entryway grit, and the constant trail of dust that shows up along baseboards. This vacuum is for someone who wants a cordless cleaner they can use day to day without a lot of setup. If you live in an apartment or a medium-sized home, if you have a mix of hard floors and rugs, or if you have pets that leave hair behind on the couch and the stairs, this kind of vacuum makes sense. If you are trying to deep clean a very large house in one pass, you are still going to run into the normal cordless limits, mostly battery time and dust cup capacity. What makes the Shark IX141 stand out to me is not one single fancy trick. It is more about a few practical choices that help in real use. The vacuum head has lights, and I did not think I would care about that. After using it at night or in a dim hallway, I do. Those lights show lint and crumbs I would have missed, especially along the edges near cabinets. The body is also shaped in a way that gets under furniture more easily than some upright-style cordless vacuums I have tried. I can get under my couch and under the bed without doing the awkward tilt and lift routine as often. In the hand, it feels light enough that I do not dread grabbing it, but it does not feel flimsy. The plastic is what you would expect at this size and weight. It is not a metal tank, but nothing on mine has rattled loose or started creaking. The joints lock in place the way they should. The dust cup is on the larger side compared to some slimmer stick vacuums, and that matters if you are cleaning up pet hair or you have kids dropping cereal everywhere. I still empty it regularly, but I am not doing it every single time. Setup was simple. Out of the box, it is basically assembling the main pieces and charging it. There is no complicated process. Day to day, I leave it where I can grab it quickly. One thing I will call out is storage. Mine did not come with a wall mount, so you need to decide where it lives. If you have a tight space, that might be a little annoying. I ended up leaning it in a closet, and it has been fine, but a dedicated mount would have made it cleaner. Using it is straightforward. For normal cleaning, I run it in the standard mode. For heavier debris, like tracked in dirt near the door or a little pile of cat litter, I use the turbo trigger for a short burst. I like that it is there when I need it, but I do not keep it on the whole time because it drains the battery faster and it is louder. The way I have tested it is basically how I actually live with it. In the kitchen, I get a mix of flour dust, coffee grounds, and little crunchy bits that end up under the counter overhang. On hard floors, it picks that up without me having to go over the same spot a bunch of times. Along baseboards, I can see what I missed because of the lights, and I do not have to guess as much. On area rugs and carpet, it does well for day-to-day maintenance. It pulls up visible debris and a surprising amount of fine dust, especially if I go a little slower. On thicker carpet, I have to be more deliberate. It can still clean it, but the feel changes and it takes more passes than on hard floors. That is normal for a cordless stick vacuum in this category. For me, it has been good enough that I do not feel like I need to drag out a full-size corded vacuum every week, but I still do a deeper clean occasionally. Pet hair is a big part of my real use. I have dealt with hair on rugs, on the couch, and in corners where it collects. With the stick setup, it grabs hair off hard floors easily. On rugs, it picks up the surface hair pretty well, and it also gets some of the hair that is pressed into the fibers, especially if I use the turbo boost in short bursts. For upholstery and stairs, I switch it to the handheld mode, and that is one of the parts I use the most. Popping the hand vacuum off is quick, and it is light enough that I can do stairs without feeling like my wrist is working overtime. The Crevice tool is the attachment I actually use, because it fits the real mess zones. Between the couch cushions, along the edge of the car seat, around the console in the car, and in the corners where dust builds up. It is not glamorous, but it is the difference between a vacuum that is useful and one that just looks good in a closet. Emptying the dust cup is also pretty painless. I take the handle off, hold the bin over the trash, and use the clean touch release. The dirt drops out without me having to reach in and pull a wad of hair out most of the time. I still sometimes get a little clump stuck, especially if I sucked up a lot of long hair, but it is less gross than some designs where you have to peel everything off the filter area. Maintenance has been normal. I empty the cup before it gets completely packed, because suction drops when you let it overfill. I also clean the filters on a schedule. If you ignore that, any cordless vacuum starts to feel weak, and then people blame the vacuum when it is really just clogged filters. With regular cleaning, mine has stayed consistent. Battery life has been enough for my routine. In standard mode, using it as a handheld unit, the runtime is rated around 40 minutes, and that feels believable in the real world if you are not holding turbo the whole time, and you are not using a bunch of extra powered attachments. In my space, I can do the kitchen, living room, hallway, and a quick pass on rugs without stressing. If I try to clean everything top to bottom and I use turbo a lot, I can run it down fast. If you have a larger home, you may end up charging mid-clean, and that is just part of cordless life. Noise is what I would expect. Standard mode is reasonable. Turbo is louder, and you will notice it in a small space. Maneuvering is one of the better parts of using it. It turns easily around chair legs and table bases, and I can get into tight spots without feeling like I am wrestling it. The low-profile head helps under furniture, but it is not magic. Really low clearance still requires moving the furniture or using the handheld mode. There is no mobile app here, and honestly I do not miss one. For a vacuum like this, I do not need notifications on my phone. I want it to be easy to grab, easy to empty, and easy to keep running. On that front, it has been solid. So the strengths in my experience come down to being easy to use, light enough for daily cleaning, helpful lights that actually show dirt, and good performance across hard floors and typical rugs. The handheld mode is genuinely useful, and I use it more than I expected for stairs and the car. The limitations are also real. No wall mount in the box is inconvenient depending on your space. Battery life is fine for normal cleaning, but it can fall short if you are trying to do a big whole house session in one go, especially if you use turbo a lot. On thicker carpet, it is capable, but it is not the same as a heavy corded vacuum that you use for deep cleaning. Overall, I have been happy with it because it fits the way I actually clean. It is the vacuum I grab for everyday messes, and that is the whole point of a cordless stick vacuum in my house. If you have questions about how it handles your specific floors or your pet situation, leave them in the comments. If this video helped, subscribe to the channel and let me know what you want me to test next. Thank you for watching.